What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Chaotic Minds. As always, it is Winged,
And a midget.
and I am sick.
Sorry.
Yeah, it's your fault.
You're the one that told me.
Yeah, there's that. So, I am still going to be participating in the conversation. However,
I had ideas.
I think it's your turn to, lead this whole thing.
Oh, God.
So, off you go.
Okay. So, it's typically not me, obviously. But I had a thought that popped into my head today.
I smelled something burning.
I know, it's weird, right? And the thought was remakes
What about
on music. Like things
like
that
covers?
go from not necessarily covers, but completely making it into a new style. Still same words, same song, same everything.
Oh, it's still
It's a cover, yes.
Yeah,
but
I mean it's still technically considered a cover.
Yes. So, what are your thoughts? My thought.
I try not to have any. They hurt my head.
I know, especially when you're sick. No, like I was thinking about it and thinking about how many songs have we heard over the years that have started out as one genre of music and ended up in a totally other genre.
Like
Country.
Annie, Are You Okay? Or Smooth Criminal by Michael Jackson.
Mm-hmm.
And then that was a big song when we were
Alien
younger.
Ant Farm.
Alien Ant Farm did a rock cover of it.
Or like newer ideas.
All That Remains didn't they do? Was it All That Remains that did a cover of Thunder Rolls?
Yes, they did. There's actually been several bands that. So Garth Brooks started it.
Actually, if I remember correctly, I don't think that's an original song by Garth Brooks.
Yes, it is.
Is it?
Yes.
Okay.
So Garth Brooks sung it, and it's been on several of his albums because it's a very popular song. So popular, in fact, he actually wrote another verse.
Yeah, I was like, isn't that song like kind of dark?
Well, I mean,
At the,
think
like,
about it.
third
It's a
verse.
wife that waits at home and is hoping that her husband isn't out cheating, but he is, and he comes home smelling like perfume and has lipstick on him. And then in the last verse that he wrote, it was actually her going to the drawer, grabbing the gun, and shooting him, so he'll never cheat again.
I mean, that's one way of doing it.
I mean, yeah. I personally would have shot his dick off, but, that's just me.
All right, Lorena Bobbitt.
Hey, there ain't no coming back and sewing that bitch back on after I'm done.
Anyways,
so Thunder Rolls is a huge example. So we've got Garth Brooks, and then we've got... I had a list.
I know that I believe it was All That Remains did a cover, because that was... I'm not real big on country, and you know that, but when I heard that rock version of it, I was like, I love this song. And I was just like, this is awesome. Like, I've heard the original once or twice, but I wasn't like a huge fan of it. But then I heard the rock version of it, and I'm like, holy shit. This is really good.
So we have State of Mind with No Resolve.
Okay.
All That Remains.
Uh-huh.
And then Drew Jacobs, he actually did another version that's actually really good.
I don't know who that is.
He's more of... Okay, so Brooks Jefferson, Stephen Kennedy, All That Remains, Derek and the Vadiza Band. There's actually a list, and I pulled it up, and I'm pulling it up again.
Okay.
Another country singer, Tanya Tucker, which is... she actually originally recorded it, but it wasn't popular, so... But Garth Brooks actually did write it.
It was a remake, or it was a cover.
No, Garth Brooks actually wrote it and gifted it to Tanya Tucker, but a female singing that song, it didn't go over very well.
Okay.
So then Garth Brooks...
So wait, I hate to say this, but my point still stands. He may have wrote the song originally and then went back and recorded it himself. However, somebody else did it first. Just because it wasn't popular doesn't mean it's not a cover.
So, and that's my thing is like, you have artists that range from Tanya Tucker, Denny Lane, Andrea Silver, Henry Smith, Dennis Kaplinger. I forget what genre he's in. Deja Vu. I don't know if you remember that group.
No.
Celtic Thunder.
I know Celtic Thunder did a version.
All That Remains, of course. Anthem Lights.
I don't know who that is.
And oh my God, you got to look at Anthem Lights up there.
I might know who that is. I just I can't.
Lullaby Baby Trio. They are more of, don't quote me on this, they are more of a K-pop style.
Okay.
Guitar tribute players, like I said, No Resolve. Anthem Lights. People,
yeah, a bunch of people have done it. Done a cover on it.
And that's the thing is like, there has been a resurgence of popularity in that song because of other bands.
Yeah.
And they're like, hey, who originally sung this? Who did this? Who did that? And it became the most popular with Garth Brooks. That's why whenever you look it up, that's the first thing that'll pop up is Garth Brooks.
Okay.
And people are like, oh. And they'll listen to it and they're like, okay.
All right.
And they'll look at it and it's like, you think about it, it's not just that song. I mean, Sound of Silence, Simon and Garfunkel.
Right. Then Disturbed did a cover of it.
Disturbed also did a cover of Thunder Rolls.
I didn't know that.
It was just a little minor performance during a tribute thing for Garth Brooks' birthday.
Ah, okay.
So they didn't record it, but I saw it was live performance.
Somebody recorded it on their phone. At a concert.
Yeah, Garth Brooks actually was in the audience.
Okay.
So I mean, like, and it's more than just like I said that song. It's all kinds of different songs. I mean, think about it.
We went to a Breaking Benjamin concert. And they did a cover of another song. I mean, like, you go to some of these live shows by other bands, and they'll do cover, like, I think
Prevail.
Didn't Five Finger do a cover of I can't remember what song it was.
I forget what song, but I know which one you're talking about.
But yeah, Five Finger did a cover while the show was going, like, in between them doing their actual songs. I think Slipknot did a cover. Slipknot did do a cover. Corey Taylor did a cover. It was a slowed down acoustic rendition of another song, and I can't remember what it is. But, like, these bands will do covers during their shows.
And it becomes a resurgence in popularity. It's like the 80s coming back. It's weird. Like, there are some... I
want to go to a show where somebody does Take On Me. Yep. Uh-huh.
Yeah. Like, can you imagine that? I mean, that's
like, imagine
a resurgence in popularity.
Imagine Godsmack during... Yeah, like, imagine that shit. Or, like, I Prevail. Or,
oh, my God. Actually, Godsmack would probably do it some good justice.
Who's this band? I can't remember.
Bad Omens?
Yeah. Imagine them doing, something. Disturbed did a cover of Shout that was actually really good, but that was, like, years ago.
But you know what I mean, though? It's like we find the music from when I was younger.
Yeah.
And from when you were younger. I mean, let's face it, you were raised on 80s music too. But
I mean, I was raised, like, before my family went through a Christian revolution, and we weren't allowed to listen to anything but, like, Christian songs. But even then, like, I wasn't allowed to listen to Skillet. I wasn't allowed to have a Skillet album because it was a rock band. And my parents were like, Christian rock doesn't exist. It's just a gateway. And I was like, look at Switchfoot. And they're like, exactly my point. Gets you into secular music. And then they listened to, God, what song was it? It was on their Comatose album. It used to be one of my Whispers in the Dark. Mm-hmm. And they're like, this is actually pretty good. Who does this? And I'm like, this is Skillet. And they're like, oh. But then like after a little bit, like we weren't even allowed to watch like Disney movies because of magic and whatnot.
Yeah.
We were watching VeggieTales and Story Keepers and stuff like that.
Oh,
and then
where is my hairbrush?
yeah, Story Keepers I will say slapped when I was younger. Like that slapped for like that. That was actually pretty cool.
I just had a genius idea. Godsmack should do Where's My Hairbrush?
Anyways, but then after a while, like we started going back into the secular music. But like I was raised on like Bon Jovi, Aerosmith.
Yes.
I stole my mom's Queen's Greatest Hits on a cassette, and I had a cassette player, and I would walk around. And she had to, because she ended up having to replace it because I wore it out. She bought 2 cassettes, one for her to replace the one I ruined, and she bought me my own. She goes, "Now you don't have to steal mine." And like I would walk around like the beach up in New Hampshire when we go up to visit my grandparents.
Yeah.
And like I'd go over across the street onto the rocks and just hang out there and watch the sunset or sun come up, and I just have Queen playing in my ears.
And that's what I mean. Can you think about some of these older generation bands or something like that and their music being remade, like done with covers? And I mean, Queen's a big one.
Oh, yeah.
Could you imagine a rock version of Bicycle?
I hate to break it to you, Queen was a rock band.
Well, I mean hard rock, like metal.
Yes.
Could you imagine All That Remains or something doing...
Or Leo.
That's what I'm saying. And Leo is a great example of that.
Oh, yeah. So
and he does shit, like, phenomenally.
In case you guys aren't aware, there's an artist out of... I can't remember if it's Norway or Finland.
I believe it's Norway. Don't quote me on that, though.
But he
Frog Leap Studios.
Yeah,
Look
it up on YouTube. But he does like metal covers of songs. Like he did a metal, and this is gonna sound weird. He did a metal cover of Let It Go.
Yeah.
He did a metal cover of Baby Shark.
And Pokemon theme song.
And the Pokemon theme song, which he had somebody guest on.
Yeah.
But then he's done like Africa, Despacito, Sound of Silence.
Like, he's done so much work. And it's
Zombie by the Cranberries.
And that's what I mean. Like, speaking of Zombie by Cranberries.
Bad Wolves.
Well,
they were originally supposed to have her
on the
featured,
album.
But then she passed away.
The day of filming.
I thought it was the day before.
No, the day of. She was actually on her way to the studio to record, and she got into the accident.
Bad Wolves Zombie is like the second to last song of Bad Wolves that I have listened to since everything happened with Tommy Vogue.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, we won't talk about him. Anyway, but the new version of Bad Wolves is actually pretty good.
I haven't listened to any of
They
their
found
stuff.
somebody to replace them.
Well, that's good.
But no, that's what I'm saying. It's like bands that are becoming big by...
Well, like Asking Alexandria, originally I believe was going to be a cover band. They had their first original song that came out. Mm-hmm. Right after that song came out, the lead singer quit and went to be a part of a cover band.
Yeah.
I think like somebody said that he was like, we're not going to make it big, so I'm just going to go and do what I want to do.
Yeah, and then
that song blew up.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody fell in love with it, and they ended up finding another lead singer.
And that's what I'm saying is, like, some of these bands that are making it big in the last, let's say, 10, 15 years have been cover bands.
Well, not necessarily. I mean, like, they've been bands that do their own songs, but...
Mm-hmm. But they do a lot of... they got their start with performing covers.
I Prevail is a good one.
Exactly.
Like, how they even got...
Blank Space?
Yeah, Blank Space. Like, they had been around for a little bit, but they were doing, like, a lot of, like, local shows in Michigan, I believe. Mm-hmm. And then... KBPI here in Colorado played their cover that they did of Blank Space.
And they kept
the fuck
up.
like people kept calling in and requesting it and requesting it and requesting it and requesting it, and it got the attention of a record label, and they went to I Prevail, and it's like, yo, we want to offer you a record, we want to offer you a deal, and then,
that's what I'm saying. It's like
they credit Willie B. I Prevail credit Willie B. For getting the band up off the ground.
Exactly, and it's like I have all the respect in the world for bands that just come out with fresh shit. I have all the respect in the world. But is it right for them to do covers of songs to get their break until they get their break?
Is that the overall question that you're thinking about?
Yes.
Okay. Honestly, do whatever you have to get noticed. I mean, that's what it boils down to nowadays. Like, you take a look at like some of these TikTok stars, right? Or some of these YouTube short people, or some of these YouTube people even. They're not. It is very rare that you see somebody doing something original content, and they get like huge. I mean, Mr. Beast not being one of them, but like, look at these gaming channels that have over 1 million people subscribe to them, right?
Exactly.
And then look at some of these TikTok people who are like
doing the same shit as everybody else.
You can go through your timeline and see like 10 different videos all doing the same dance but by different people.
Exactly.
Or all doing the same thing with the same song or the same joke or like the same voiceover or insert whatever by different people. It's very hard at times to go ahead and get noticed by doing something original, that you're almost forced to do something but do it in a way do it in a way that it catches somebody's attention.
And that's my thing. The thing that has been a real big controversial topic around this in the last 10-15 years is bands that record their cover of the song without permission.
Yeah, I mean,
performing live is one thing.
Look at what happened, in like the 90s, the 80s and the 90s, right? You had Vanilla Ice's Ice Ice Baby, right? Beginning of that song is Under Pressure by
Queen and
David Bowie. Freddie Mercury and David Bowie. And then you have, oh God, who was it? They were small. They were big. They were big stars, but they were like kids.
You talking New Kids on the Block?
No, like it was like almost like a hip hop group.
Crisscross.
Yeah, I think it was Crisscross.
They wore their clothes backwards.
Yeah, but they took a sample of somebody else's
Nicki
song.
Minaj and Sir Mix-a-Lot.
Well,
Baby Got Back in Anaconda.
He gave her permission for that.
He didn't give her permission the first time she recorded it. She sent him a recording and said, "Is this okay?" And then she put it on the album. That's what I'm saying. Is like some of these people are getting so pissed off that they're recording their songs again, but it's also driving their sales up and making their music more popular again.
Well, I mean, you also got to take in consideration, like, what are samples, right?
Samples are snippets. I'm talking about
no, I'm
songs.
just hear me out. Up until a certain point in time in the music field
industry,
yeah, you could sample anything, right? You could have it be like a 25-second sample, right? But as people are like, hey, you took this from my song without my permission.
Exactly.
They had to shorten it down.
Sue Happy.
You had to shorten it down to like, I think it's like the legal limit is only like
8 seconds.
Like 5 to 10 seconds, somewhere in there.
Yeah.
Right? But you could repeat it all you want. It's just that one section, right? So like, look at Kanye West, right?
Yeah.
He's done a couple of songs where he's took samples from other songs, right?
Yep.
And then you have like you have all these other creators that have done the same thing. Like they've taken samples from songs and just ran with it.
Yeah.
I think Jay-Z has done it a few times. rock some of the rock people that we listen to have done it as well. I mean, Welcome to the Jungle is a big one. That people like to go ahead and like take snippets from or whatnot.
And that's my thing. Is like sampling, covering, all of that. It's one of those things where people are becoming more popular again because of cover bands.
Well, here's the thing with cover bands. Like, here's the difference between covering a song and
being a cover band
and sampling a song, right? When you sample it, you're just taking a snippet of their song, and mixing it in a way into your song, right?
Yeah, and I get that.
When you cover it, however, you are changing the media, right? So take
Federals.
No, I was thinking more along the lines of take Smooth Criminal, right?
Mm-hmm.
When Alien Ant Farm did it, they did ask Michael, if they could do this. However,
he actually gave them the studio that he recorded the music video in too.
However, Michael Jackson's Smooth Criminal was pop hip hop, right?
Mm-hmm.
Alien Ant Farms is like hard rock / new rock / metal.
Mm-hmm.
Two completely different sounds.
That's
it's
what
the
I'm
same
saying.
song, but it's two completely different sounds.
And that gets people curious as to who wrote the original song, who sang it.
Take Simon and Garfunkel's
Sound
of Silence. Theirs was a acoustic guitar, like flower power hippie movement sound to it.
Mm-hmm.
Almost psychedelic. If it was put on like an electric guitar, I have no doubt that it would be a psychedelic song. But then you take Disturbed's version of it, and it's very somber. Like, it is very slow and somber.
And I showed the kids today Sound of Silence by Simon and Garfunkel, and it's a very, when you listen to it and actually listen to the words, because you know the words from Disturbed.
Yeah.
Like, after you've listened to Disturbed and you listen to that, you're like, oh, yeah, it really is kind of sad. Like, if you listen to the words, but if you listen to the music, they're trying to put a happy spin on it.
Well, it's almost like, and I hate to make this comparison, but Hollywood Undead's Bullet. If you listen to just the music, it's a very, dun 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 dun. It's very up, like it goes
up. It's an infomercial,
right? It's a very upswing, music.
Mm-hmm.
But when you listen to the lyrics, it's talking about wanting to end yourself.
Mm-hmm.
But the way I put it is it is the happiest suicide song, or not really happiest suicide song, but like happiest self-harm song that somebody could play, and it's messed up, but it's oddly fascinating at the same time.
Yeah.
Because there are some people who, like me and you, we take that as a very serious subject.
Exactly.
Partially because of who we are, and partially because of where we work at.
Yeah.
Versus some of the people that come in to the place that we work at, and some other people who just may not have vocalized it, they don't see any harm in it. They see it as a sense of release. I'm not saying that that's what it is. And, if you are toying with that idea, don't. But like,
you're worth it. People love you.
It's a weird contradiction in song, like
mm-hmm.
in between the song and the melody, right?
I get it, and that's what I'm saying. Is like changing it completely like that is fascinating to me, and I love it. I absolutely love No Resolve and what they did with the song. I love the fact that they actually got together with Garth Brooks to get his approval on some of the changes in the notes and how things were put. And I find that fascinating and fantastic at the same time, that they include the artists that made the song what it is.
Yeah, you can't have like, and if it's a song of that like magnitude,
that
right?
caliber,
you can't just go ahead and change something.
I'm gonna do it, and I'm gonna change it, and if you don't like it, stick it up your ass. No,
you can't do that.
Especially to a Garth Brooks song. Cause
Dolly Parton's another one. Like, I'm sure
I Will Always Love You and Whitney Houston.
Jolene,
yep.
Like, I heard a rock version.
Miley Cyrus is actually Dolly Parton's goddaughter. So
I heard, well, I'm not even saying that. I've heard a rock version of Jolene.
Mm-hmm.
And I've heard a trap remix version of Jolene. And I'm like, what in the actual fuck stick?
Like, that, I don't agree with.
I didn't mind it.
But, like, including these artists and giving them the chance to, put their artistic input on something and keeping their artistic stamp on it while honoring that song and making it your own is huge. And I mean, with Thunder Rolls, let's keep using that as an example, because I listened to like 5 different versions of that today because I was thinking about this so much.
Stuck in your head, huh?
Exactly. But, you take these different artists, and if you got them together, and I would like to see Garth Brooks react to some of these artists.
Well, he has.
His song.
He has.
And
I found he has a TikTok channel or a TikTok thing.
Yeah,
and
him and Trisha Yearwood, yeah.
There are some reactions that he's done to be like to people who have either covered it, like small people covered it, right?
Mm-hmm.
To some of them are like, I listened to this before, this big band went ahead and put it out and did a cover of it. Like, it's fascinating to see. Yep. I'm not denying that. The one thing that I will say is that there are sometimes some smaller artists will do a song, right?
Yeah.
And then it'll get covered by a bigger band, and then that bigger band gets more attention, and the smaller artist kind of gets buried.
Yeah.
Like, you shouldn't do that either.
No.
Like, if you're gonna jack someone's song, at least give them the credit. Be like, hey, we heard this song. This is where we heard this song from. Go check them out too. But there are some people who just don't give a shit and won't do that. I mean, it is not even just music that this is happening with. There are people online. There are people online who steal art and they never give any sort of
credit to the artist.
Thank you. Credit to the artist. I mean, I've seen it on TikTok. Like, somebody will steal somebody else's stuff and they'll put it on their own, but they'll put like the Subway Surfers gameplay beside it or whatnot and pass it off as their own. It's like, you didn't, and they don't have any sort of credit to the original creator of that content.
Yeah.
Like, there's a girl that I watch. She does like these skits about the store. Mm-hmm. Right? I think it's like Taylosaurus Rex or something on TikTok.
Okay.
But like, I see her stuff more often than not being put to the Subway Surfers, bullshit.
And that bugs me too. Like, if you're gonna
don't steal shit, you fucks.
If you're gonna do something like that, at least give credit to the original artist. I mean, Chris Staples, he's a guy I watch on TikTok. I started watching him on YouTube years ago.
Okay.
He actually does react and dances and fun stuff to different artists. He's in his car playing his mom and him, like from when he was younger. My mom jamming to this artist in the front seat and me jamming in the back, and then me jamming now, and he's in the front seat of his car and just jamming along. And he does things like that, but he also gives credit to the artist.
Yeah.
And he'll list, like, if he does a react, do you remember these songs from this year or whatever?
Yeah, like Potatosaurus.
Yeah. If he does that, he will literally, in the description of it, list every artist that he used in that video.
Yeah.
And I think that's the way it should be.
That's how it should be, like, if you're a decent person.
Yeah.
The problem is, the world we live in,
humanity sucks.
Is not decent.
And that's the
or
thing.
it's very hard to find a decent person.
Yeah.
But to each their own, I guess, until you get yours, and then once you get yours, well,
yeah, and that's
I have no sympathy for you.
But see, and that's the thing is like it goes from actual artwork like drawings and stuff like that to music to reacting to Reddit stories. I mean, how many Reddit stories do we see on TikTok with Subway Surfers?
Well, it's not even just
Am
Subway
I the
Surfers.
asshole,
It's not just Subway Surfers. Like, it's also like that Minecraft running stuff. And yeah, well, here's the thing. I will say this because partially due to the fact that we do Reddit stories once a month.
Yeah.
By the way, ours is at the end of every month, so check those out. But then like Smosh does it as well. You have r/ on YouTube. You have Dark Fluff on YouTube. Like, it's not really stealing their thing.
Yeah.
It's reading and reacting to stories that people put up. Granted, the ones that are on TikTok that have like the Subway Surfers or the Minecraft jumping stuff, like those ones don't have any reaction. It's just the person reading the story. But I don't see how that's any different than, like, for me, I don't see how reading a Reddit story is any different than reading an editorial or a here's my opinion in any sort of newspaper or magazine or, blog post or anything else like that. Now, I might be wrong, and if I am, I apologize, but that's just how I see it. Like, it's there putting, like, people go there to make editorials, and they want to get their side out, with the am I the asshole stuff or am I the devil? They want to get the opinions of other people to be like, hey, I can validate how I'm feeling, or no, I need to be called out because of bullshit that I'm pulling.
Yeah.
That's just my opinion, though.
And like I said, that's the thing. It's like you can't worry about, am I offending this person? Am I offending this person? But the thing is you've got to.
In regards to the offending part, I saw a comedian, like I saw a bit from a comedian, and I cannot for the life of me remember who it is because my brain is not functioning because of this fucking sickness. But he had a bit that was like, well, you can't tell that joke. Why not? Well, then you're going to offend someone. Okay, and?
Let them be offended.
Let them be, yeah. There is nothing wrong with being offended.
There is something wrong about being a jerk.
Offended, though. Well, no, there's a difference between being offended because something doesn't sit right with you.
Yeah.
And being offended because I feel offended because this person would feel offended. One, you don't know that. And two, fuck off. But then there's also a difference between speaking your mind and being an asshole.
And that's my thing. Is like, you don't have to be an asshole.
Like, I'm blunt as hell. There are times.
I hate to tell you, honey, you're blunt as a sledgehammer.
There are times where, I will go ahead and be like, hey, I'll ask the person. They'll come up to me. They're like, hey, I need your opinion. Okay. Do you want my opinion or do you want me to validate how you're feeling? Exactly.
Yeah.
But.
Bless you.
Thank you. But then, like, just knowing that it's going to hit a hot button on someone and saying it just to hit the hot button, you're not saying anything. You are purposely going out of your way to be offensive. Like, you're going out of your way to be a dick.
Yeah.
And there's a difference between being an asshole because you're truthful and being a dick because you feel like you want to piss people off.
Hence the reason we say don't be a dick. And that's my thing. Like I said before, it's all about perception. And your opinion is exactly that. Your opinion. It's your perception of how things are. It might not necessarily be what the person, artist, vocalist, whatever has intended. That's like trying to blame somebody. Oh, my daughter or son, insert whatever, committed suicide because of your song.
Yeah.
That's your perception.
13 Reasons Why. There's an idea.
Exactly.
Or there's a thing. Like,
they made that, and there was a huge backlash with that because
because in a way it's glorifying.
It exposes the truth about teen suicide.
Well, here's the thing. When it first came out, it almost seemed like it was glorifying, self-harm. Just like 16 and Pregnant.
Yep.
Was that the show?
Yep. Was 16 and Pregnant or Teen Mom?
Teen Mom, that was what it was. Was like glorifying having a kid, having a baby, way before that you were ready to. It glorified that. And then you have some of these other shows that glorify, like Euphoria has been accused of glorifying drug usage. There was that one show that faced controversy before it came out.
Yep.
That had The Weeknd in it. And the biggest thing for that was it almost was like glorifying domestic violence.
Yeah. And that's the thing is like
I've seen bits and pieces of 13 Reasons Why. Like I sat there and I watched a couple episodes with our daughter.
Yep.
And it's like, yes, that show can be used to expose what goes through somebody's mind before they decide to, terminate
in their life.
But at the same time, there were all of these opportunities that this person had.
Yep.
That they didn't take because of fear. Or because they were too proud or whatnot. That's my biggest takeaway on that show.
And that's the thing is like...
And that's the thing.
I don't know.
My takeaway is different from your takeaway.
Exactly.
And your takeaway is different from our daughter's takeaway. Like, it
just bothers me how anybody can blame something on a TV show or a video game. Yeah, there are some video games that are fucking violent as hell.
Oh, yeah. Mortal Kombat.
Twisted Metal.
GTA.
And look what one of the most popular games is.
GTA 5.
My point. You can go into a strip club or a whorehouse and buy hookers.
You could buy drugs.
You steal cars. Kill cops. Like...
I mean, that was the big thing back when it
My kid
first...
became a drug addict because of GTA 5. No, your kid became a drug addict because you're never home and you never pay attention to him.
Yeah.
Take some responsibility, people. Like, I know my kids are not perfect. They are far from it. Although...
I don't know what you're talking about. My kids are fucking perfect.
Nathaniel got to see his wannabe girlfriend today.
My kids are fucking perfect. Your kids may not be. My kids are angels.
They're the same.
So?
And then Fish. He's a senior this year. When the hell did that happen?
Last year? When he got through 11th grade?
Well, no shit, Sherlock.
You asked.
Brought me up another fucking clue.
You want another one? Okay. When he started this year and he was in grade 12.
And that's my thing. Is like, where the hell did the time go?
Out the window.
The fuck?
Out the window.
And then our oldest is going to be 20. What the fuck?
Uh-huh. But, anyways.
And I mean, going back to it, circling back around after the rabbit hole trip.
Yay.
Yay, rabbit hole. Like... all these, I sat down and actually was thinking about it today, and it actually tired me out. It was really weird. Went back to sleep for an hour.
Babe, walking up and down a flight of stairs tires you out.
Lately.
Walking up half a flight of stairs tires me out. Fuck off.
Especially since being sick. Holy fuck.
Fuck off.
And having advanced arrest training. That was fun.
Anyways,
like, I sat down and was thinking about, like, how many songs have I heard lately
that have been covers?
That have been covers or have had samples. Like, I ain't no shame in this. I have Anaconda and Baby Got Back on my playlist.
Okay.
But, like, how many songs are on my playlist that are covers or...
You know who the... Sorry, I kind of mean to interrupt you, but not really. You know who another one of those, like, big group or big like styles of music that does do a lot of samples are?
Huh.
House music, EDM music.
Uh-huh.
You know, like take like Skrillex and Deadmau5 and stuff like that. Swedish House Mafia.
Benny Benassi.
Well, not really Daft Punk, but like that kind of like that style of music.
Sandstorm.
Darude? No, Darude didn't steal anything.
No, but they have had samples done.
They've
of
had
their
samples
music.
taken of them, but no,
and
I'm
they've
saying
sampled
like
others too.
I'm saying like there are a lot of EDM music that will take samples or take parts of songs, put them in their mixes, and they become like huge. And then you have people like David Guetta, who does house music or EDM music, but then he does mixes with like Nicki Minaj. He's did like 3 or 4 of them.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not knocking people who do covers. I'm not saying they're not original. There are some really cool, really original ideas that can be done with covers, is what I'm saying.
And that's my thing, is like, as long as you're doing it the right way and at least giving the artist credit or having permission to record it and put it on your album.
Don't steal, you fucks.
Stealing is bad. Ask for permission. Can I steal this? Yes.
Can I borrow this for eternity?
And that's my thing, is like, as long as you're going about it the right way. Like, I don't remember who it was, but there was a story that was big in the news a while back about a lawsuit because one band borrowed the music of another. And
was it Metallica?
No.
Okay. No, wait, that's Napster. Never mind.
But no, like, there was a big, huge thing in the news, and they determined that it wasn't stolen. They just sampled it, and that it was, the whole lawsuit was thrown out, but they would have to pay royalties and all this, that, and the other. And that's the thing, is like, if you're giving the artist credit or you're having the permission of the artist and stuff that's going to be huge.
You want to get permission first.
Exactly.
And then even when you have permission, still like
give
at
the
the
artist
end,
credit.
Yeah, give credit. Give credit to where credit's due, because without that song, your song wouldn't exist.
Exactly.
Just putting that out there.
Anyway, that's enough of that subject.
Yeah, you said you had another one that kind of branched off.
It's something we've touched on before, but I kind of forced myself to sit down and watch something the other day. Actually, 2 somethings the other day.
Was it Prawn?
No.
Oh.
Sadly enough.
Anyways.
Live action remakes.
Oh, God.
I forced myself to sit down and watch both The Little Mermaid, the new one.
Why?
And The Lion King.
Why?
Because I wanted to see.
Well, I mean, you did watch the live action Jungle Book remake with the kids.
Yeah, that one was. That one I'm not too big on.
Anyways,
surprisingly, the Lion King wasn't bad. I will say that. It was kind of weird after seeing the Disney version for so long.
You mean the fully animated version?
Exactly, the animated version.
The live action version is still technically Disney.
But yeah, seeing the animated version versus the live action, it was a little weird at first, but I actually liked it. It wasn't bad.
Yeah.
The Little Mermaid, I swore up and down that I was not going to like it. I don't care, because they took out Kiss the Girl.
Okay.
Because apparently it perpetuates rape culture. That's another story. Don't get me started on that. We're not even... Nope. Yeah, I know.
Like, correct me if I'm wrong, but when that song in Little Mermaid was on, it wasn't saying, hey, you should kiss her even if she doesn't want it. It was, look at how she's looking at you. Look at how interested she is in you. She is wanting you to make a move.
But she did not give verbal permission, therefore there's...
She couldn't. She didn't have a voice.
My point. But they took that song out. Whatever. I was not happy about that. I was like, I am not going to like this. I'm not going to like this. Yada, yada, yada.
You liked it, didn't you?
It was pretty good.
You liked it, didn't you?
I actually did.
No.
But the thing is for the first time in a long time.
Uh-huh.
Like,
You fell asleep during a movie.
no.
Oh.
The animated version of Little Mermaid has never, ever once made me cry.
You cried during The Little Mermaid?
The live action, yes. Because it was more real.
What?
Because at the end, when King Triton turns Ariel back into a human and gives her away to Prince Eric, and
What?
yeah, I actually cried at that part.
What?
I didn't cry during the animated version because
What?
I knew it wasn't real. But seeing them as actual people, it actually made it real. It was weird.
What?
Don't judge me.
I'm judging you from over here.
But no, like,
I am judging you so hard from over here.
the next one I'm going to sit down and force myself to watch, unfortunately, is going to be
Aladdin?
Aladdin.
No.
That's next on my list.
No. No.
I'm
No.
going to just
No.
because.
No. Wow.
What are some other live action that has happened? Mulan. I want to watch that live.
That one I'll see.
That one I definitely want to see if
But
they
they
do it
also
right.
did Little Mermaid. Or, sorry. You already talked about that. Beauty and the Beast.
Yep.
Emma
I
Watson.
saw. I loved that version.
They've done, I don't know how many fucking Peter Pans.
I
Hook,
will not see the new one.
Hook is still the best one.
Exactly.
What else have they done? I can't think.
I can't think either. I'm gonna have to look up a list because I wanna give, like, I always have a rule of give it 20 minutes for a show, 30 minutes for a movie. And if I still don't like it after 30 minutes, then I turn it off.
Oh, Alita Battle Angel. That was a manga into
Live action.
yeah.
But no, like, I want to look and see what live action remakes have happened and with our old animated Disney
I
movies.
mean, you want a big one, fucking Lord of the Rings. That's a lie. That's something made into a live action.
Another good one that they've done, Robin Hood. Men in Tights.
Men in Tights, yes. They have not done a anamorphic version of Robin Hood, and I am so happy about that.
Yeah, I think there
because
would be
Robin
writing.
Hood, the Disney animated version of Robin Hood
From like the 1950s.
is one of my favorite Disney movies ever.
So another one that I'd like to see, this is going to sound really weird, and I don't remember if it's Disney. I think it's Disney.
Just be ready for my judgment.
Fox and the Hound.
I am judging you.
That would be great if they did that.
I am judging
as
you.
live action.
No, it wouldn't.
It's like
It wouldn't.
Geller.
It really wouldn't. I love Fox and the Hound. I've cried multiple times
Like a bitch.
watching Fox and the Hound, and I won't even front about it. Here's one that they've done. Charlotte's Web.
Yep.
The animated.
That's not Disney though.
It's not Disney, but it is a live action.
Yeah.
The animated version. I have arachnophobia. This is well known.
Yeah.
I've sat down and watched.
Spider.
I've watched both versions of Charlotte's Web because I like that movie.
Charlotte's Web live action.
I liked
great.
the original movie.
Mm-hmm. But they
The
did pretty
animated version. The live action was okay.
I actually liked it. I didn't mind it. But that's my thing is like I
The main
am
reason why
trying to give things a chance.
the main reason why I wasn't a huge fan of the live
Spider
action.
looks too real.
The spider looks too fucking real. Like the animated version, Miss Charlotte is all poofy and she has her little foof and she looks like one of those
Lucas the
well-to-do people like the rich people who have like the faux fur, however the fuck you pronounce it, like around their neck and their hat, and they're just foof. And then you have the live action version, and I'm like, burn the fucking TV.
Burn the barn down.
That is a spider. No.
Like,
It's talking. It's It is pretending to be Miss Charlotte. It is not Miss Charlotte. That's a fucking spider. Fuck off.
Yeah.
But it was still a cute movie.
But that's the thing is, like, I'm trying to...
And Lucas the spider is different because Lucas is adorable.
I'm trying to give certain things a chance that I normally wouldn't give a crap about.
Uh-huh.
So I'm like, okay, so I'm doing it like once a week just so that I can say, okay, yeah, I've seen it.
Uh-huh.
So that I don't have to hear people be like, oh, you haven't seen this?
I haven't seen Godfather.
I hated The Godfather.
I
I know that's controversial from everybody
Oh,
else.
no, I mean, like, the fact that I have
Godfather.
not seen The Godfather, like, my poppy wanted to watch The Godfather with me. I refused to. And at this point, it is completely and totally out of spite. I don't want to see it. Just like I haven't seen Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Him and his mom and I have both said, you gotta watch it. It's great.
The only way that I will watch that movie is if I am loaded on Jaeger or any other sort of liquor that is going to knock me on my ass 5 minutes into it.
Yeah, I think we've got enough rum in the house to cover that.
No. There's never enough rum.
And I mean, he won't even watch Labyrinth.
That's because that movie terrified me as a kid. Like, Jim Henson,
David
genius.
Bowie in tight pants.
Well, that too, but Jim Henson, fucking genius.
Mm-hmm.
Between, the Muppets, Sesame Street, The Dark Crystal, all the bullshit, like Fraggle Rock, and then all the bullshit in fucking Labyrinth, that movie terrified the fuck out of me.
Yeah.
No.
And that's the thing is, like
E.T. terrified the fuck out of me.
Excuse me while I not so silently judge you on that one.
I don't give a shit.
I used to have an E.T. doll.
Because at that point, I was terrified of aliens, especially ones with little herpy fingers.
I loved E.T. so much when I was younger that I had a life-size E.T. doll.
So it was taller than you.
When I was little, yes.
It would still be taller than you.
But I also had a stuffed animal that was about 2.5, 3 feet tall.
You know what? I don't want to hear fucking shit about me being scared of E.T. when you can't even to this day can't be around a replica of a fucking Tribble.
Yeah, we don't talk about Tribbles.
Fuck you.
My dad tortured me when I was a kid with Tribbles.
Fuck you.
But I'll still watch Star Trek.
Well, yeah, it's to start.
It's Star Trek.
Now, the biggest thing is still who is the superior captain?
Captain Janeway.
Captain Picard.
I will go on record saying Captain Janeway.
Janeway is not the superior captain, and I will say this on record for the 100th time for one reason and one reason alone. She does not have a standalone show. Picard does. Fuck you.
Oh, but who's the superior admiral? That would be Janeway.
Picard. Picard made an appearance in Janeway's because he was the superior admiral. Fuck you.
Anyway.
And if we want to get to the real goat, Shatner. Just saying. Shatner.
Ain't nobody like Shatner as a captain.
I loved Shatner as a captain. I liked Picard better because Picard was just the right amount of sassy, snarky, I don't give a fuck, asshole, and I love my people. Granted, in the later seasons, the first season, he was a dick.
He was a complete dick.
But, anyways.
But no, I don't even know what train of thought we left up on. Oh yeah.
Remakes.
But like, I've been trying to give things a chance that I normally wouldn't, and I'm...
Giving things a chance is never a bad thing. You'll get judged harshly on it.
Yeah.
Mostly by me.
And another thing, if you want something fun to do, you should start singing random songs or humming random songs while you're at work and get them stuck in your coworker's head.
I do that all the time.
I was in like 2-3 weeks ago, and I started singing.
Fraggle Rock.
And Elliot, I was walking by the office and Elliot was humming it. And I was like, ha ha, I got it stuck. Another one.
Let's just focus. We need more focus.
No.
But no, like, here's the thing. Like what you want to like. Enjoy what you want to enjoy.
You're going to give me shit about it.
Oh, yeah, I'm going to. Absolutely. However.
That's how a marriage works.
True. However, it is also something that you enjoy. You like certain type of music. I don't.
He will never sit down and watch the live action Little Mermaid with me, though.
Nope.
Because he's a pussy.
No, because I don't enjoy those movies. Or those remakes of movies.
Would you watch the ending clip with me?
No. Because it's part of the movie. I also hate direct-to-DVD movies. But that's another thing.
He especially hates direct-to-DVD
Fuck
sequels.
direct-to-DVDs. There is like no thought process on them whatsoever. It is just a cash grab. The only exception that I will make
is COVID.
Huh?
Movies that came out during COVID.
No. The only exception I will make is Aladdin 3 Return of the King.
You mean Return of Jafar?
Aladdin 3.
Or King of Thieves.
That's it. I was mixing Lord of the Rings. But no. King of Thieves was a direct-to-DVD. However, they put actual thought into the script. Not the animation, because the animation looks like shit.
Yeah.
However, the script, the plot, the storyline, the characters, the character development, fantastic.
Yeah, you can't get him to watch direct-to-DVD movies unless it's something that is on a series that he already loves.
Yeah.
He won't even give the direct-to-DVD a chance.
Nah.
No.
Nah. Like, I liked Cinderella. I refuse to watch the fucking...
Cinderella 2, Twist of Time?
Yeah, refuse. No, fuck you. I know enough about it. I will look it up on Wikipedia.
Lion King 1.5?
Was not a direct-to-DVD.
That was a fucking great movie.
That was not a direct-to-DVD. That was in theaters.
Lion King 2 was.
Was it?
Yep, it was direct-to-DVD.
I didn't like it.
I
saw
didn't
bits and pieces of it.
But I liked 1.5, Lion King 1.5.
Well, yeah, because 1.5 is a retelling of Lion King, of the first Lion King.
And
just
1
from Timon and Pumbaa. Just from
Timon
and Pumbaa's point of view. It was just 1. It wasn't 2. 2 was not in there.
Or I should say, it was their beginnings before 1 and during 1.
Yes.
And I find it hysterical, like the narration, them giving the narration that they did. Like, well, they're sitting in a theater.
Yeah, they were sitting in a theater. That's why it was like fucking great.
Yeah.
But no, I like Lion King 2. It's like, oh yeah, yeah. It's about his it's about his daughter and the son of Scar, which would make him her cousin.
Kissing cousins.
Something like that. I don't fucking know. Yeah, that fucking family tree is
one branch.
Yeah, and it's the branch. It's the bough that goes straight up. Anyways, but that's the circle of life. It's a straight line.
Their family tree is a circle.
Well, no, it's a circle of life. In their case, it's a straight line. Just anyways,
But yeah,
but no, like directed DVD movies.
He won't watch them.
No, fuck you.
Like I said, unless it's a
remakes. Remakes are okay. I will say that much.
Yeah.
However,
House of 1,000 Corpses was fantastic.
I don't watch horror movies. But
Rob Zombie's a fucking genius.
Oh yeah, but
and he remade Halloween.
1 and 2.
1 and 2.
He made that, but the way that he did it was he gave Michael Myers like a backstory.
Still fucking great.
Anyways, and there's like psychic, like twin power, supernatural stuff that explained everything, but didn't.
It was fucking great.
The third movie sucked dick. Anyways, directed DVD, like remakes of movies, like live action remakes, are hit and miss, right? Like they make no sense in one part.
Aladdin.
Like they make no sense, but at the same time, it's like seeing it like with real people. Sure. Anyways, I think this is a good enough point to call it. So thank you all so much for listening. Don't
forget to love each other, please.
If you're listening to us on Spotify, hit that download button. It lets Spotify know, hey, we really like this shit and we want to hear more of it. If you want to donate to the show to show your love and give us a little bit of support, you can. Link is in the description. You don't have to, but it's nice. Anyways, as you stated, don't forget to love each other.
And most of all, don't be a dick.
Don't be a dick. Take it easy, guys.
Bye.